we did that, I was like, do I remember how?
How do I count backwards?
I...
You start all the way at like 99, 98, 97.
Just keep going past 0. All right, -1, -2. When do I stop?
So, Kate, hi.
Hi. Oh my god.
Hi, listener, hi.
Hi, listener, hi. Oh, forever since we've said those words.
I know. It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, shall we update listener on the ways that we've been utterly, like, messed up by this year?
Yes. Yeah. So we're 6 months into the year.
Is it? It's June. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like
we're at the end of June also.
Yeah. Listener, for context, it's June 19th.
Listener, you're going to get all of the episodes for this season posted in December.
Yeah.
Be like, we're posting every day.
So, listener, like, I feel like we have told you this every single episode so far, but we never intended for our hiatus to go this long. You know, between me unexpectedly buying a house, moving, and having to get my other house ready for sale, Kate's lifing.
Oh, yeah. I evicted my gallbladder.
Yeah.
I feel like other things happened. There was notice. It took like a month to do.
How you feeling?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I'm coming off like 7 days like from the surgery. I do feel a lot better. I was surprised that like the stitches are healing this fast, but at the same time, like the first couple of days, I couldn't even like sit up on my own. So
yeah, that sucks, dude.
I cannot wait until I can just lay down on my side. Like, I'm so stupid excited for this like comfort that dude, my body has just been physically like just a wreck this week. I literally cried yesterday because I told you about the salads. But like I felt so silly like crying about like accidentally ordering 2 side salads instead of like carbs because I really wanted carbs.
I'm so sorry.
No, like it's sometimes that's just where you are.
Sometimes that's where you are. Yeah, that's the truth.
So you bought a house. That's huge. And it's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. We do love it so much. Everyone's settling in. We're doing our best. There's just still a lot of stuff to do at the other house to get it listed. You know, we just are on borrowed time to get it listed. Like there's only so fast we can move under the circumstances.
And like when you were working on buying the house, there was a lot of back and forth, I feel like, and a little bit of drama with the buyer, or no, the seller.
The seller, yeah.
I feel like that took up a lot of the time you would have spent, you know, getting your house ready.
Yeah, well, and even like initially they accepted another offer that should have been a sure thing, and it fell through. And it came to us. And so it was like, okay, well, now we're fast forwarding again, you know?
A lot of stop and start.
It is a lot easier to work on the house when we aren't living there, though. Because like it was just such a small space for all of us to be taking up, and we did our best. We used up every inch of that place. So
oh, totally. It was a cute place though. I really liked like I love the half level kind of things. Is that what it's called? No,
it's called Cape Cod. I mean, we loved that house. We were really looking at like what it would take to stay there forever, and it just wasn't going to work out. And then this house was available, so we're like, crap, we got to do this now. So, but it has totally changed like everything with my publishing schedule and stuff like that. So getting that figured out. What about you? What's going on? What's next for you? Tell me everything.
Ooh, recapping for the listener. I think you know this. I went to this event that was hosted by Romancing the Craft, and I want to say Steamy Licon. It's been a minute, so I don't totally remember. It was hosted at Rutgers, which is like a stone's throw from where I am.
I vaguely remember this.
Yeah, and so it was
I remember you doing the Baltimore thing, but I don't remember the other thing.
Oh, I will cover Baltimore also.
Okay.
A lot to catch up. So it was like a day of like listening to a lot of romance authors, mostly traditionally published, I think, who, like giving their processes, their like how they write characters, how they, plot things. I took a whole bunch of notes. I keep meaning to like write them up and put them in the group chat.
I would love to read them.
They were so, oh my God, Alicia Rise, like the way that it was one of the breakout sessions, she listed how she kind of puts character flaws as like, like what they need to learn, what their secrets are, what like what information they're keeping from other characters, what they're lying to themselves about, and like how you're lining these qualities of the character up with the plot beats, and like how the way she made it like makes so much sense. Like I felt like I've been looking for that piece of information for a while.
That sounds fantastic.
Oh, it was beautiful.
And when I hear people talk about these things, like I feel self-conscious because I'm like, I don't do that. Right? Like I always get so nervous that like my characters don't have enough growth, or like it's not obvious enough, or like, stuff like that it freaks me out that I'm not
No, I totally
not doing it right.
I feel like sometimes you have to bite off a little more than you can chew to like take the time to work on it and like to learn how to do it. No one starts off knowing how to do everything, and I don't think every book includes everything, and I don't think every genre requires characters to do like I don't need every romance novel to have a character, like to have both characters or even one of the characters to have a massive growth journey. Sometimes just a little bit of growth is, all it takes. Like, God, I saw a video the other day that did kind of tick me off a little bit, because this lady was like, if anyone ever said my books have all vibes, I would be insulted. I'm like, do you know how hard it is to write a book that is just easy and digestible,
Yeah.
Like that, I don't want people to devalue that.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's a good point, that like if my readers are reading my books and I'm sitting here self-conscious about whether or not my characters go through enough growth, but my readers are like, I'm fully satisfied with this, then that is something to value.
Absolutely. And I think like the worry that you need to put more growth in is a valuable thing to have, because it makes you strive for better. You're always trying to like grow and learn yourself then. But I think like, you can tie yourself in knots. Like I have felt myself tie myself in knots over, like, are these characters doing what I want them to do? Are they, reaching the reader the way I want them to? And like, God, I'm like more and more kind of gravitating towards this thought that, because I used to think that every book had to like, you should only write a book if you have something to say, like you have a thesis, you have a like a point to make. And
absolutely.
Sometimes I think it's not about making a specific point, because so many different people can watch the same movie or read the same book and come away with different things from it. All those things could be in the book, but like the things that I think sometimes it's just about opening up something for more examination. Like we talk about tarot cards, like when we're on our regular personal phone calls. Like we talked about how whether or not you believe in like the magic of it all, like there's still a lot to be found in being prompted.
They like hold a mirror up to you.
Yes.
And you have to have a lot of introspection to understand what message could be in the symbolism that could be useful for you.
Yeah, it makes you, like, it says, like, are you overthinking? Well, what am I overthinking something? Like, or are you like diving into something without looking? And you go, well, here's what that could be about. And it makes you like take stock of everything.
I heard Sierra Simone was on the Spa Girls podcast recently. And she was talking about this concept from Kennedy Ryan. That's their 3-legged stool.
Okay.
Kennedy Ryan has this thing where she needs a story to have these 3 different elements to it for her to be able to write a story.
All right.
And like the elements are like, is this important to the current climate, right? Do I feel like I have something different to say? Like it's all these different things that are important to how she would construct a story, right? I don't have an answer to what those 3 legs would be for me, but I'm starting to understand more so what it is that I do, which I think is pretty cool, because like there was definitely a while there that I was like, I don't know what I do that's different, right? And I'm starting to like be able to have enough data to understand like what that thing is. And that was another thing that Sierra Simone had said was, what is it about this that is like the way she tells a story, right? Like, what is it about it that excites her to tell this story? And like, these are things that you'll naturally gravitate towards in a lot of ways. Like, I love when people tell me that like their characters feel so relatable, or my characters feel so relatable, or that they just want to hang out with them, or they just want to go in this place. Like, that is exactly the experience I want my readers to have, along with it being like comforting while also stressful.
While also stressful.
I want them to know everything's going to be okay, but the process to getting there has them worked up. Like, that's what I want. And I think it's just such an interesting concept to start getting to know the way you do things a little bit more. And then also in the knowing, you kind of get more confidence in why the way you're telling this story is important. And it's not that it's like going to change the world. You don't have to have that kind of pressure, but like also that the way you see the world is going to sit well with people.
I think there's like a big fear, especially nowadays, like with the way that authors are kind of expected to be present and available to readers on social media. I don't want to say that there shouldn't be accountability, but there's a lot of like, pressure to, I think constantly about this, like one Tumblr post that I read that was like, this person asked, like, one of the things I think about when I'm reading is this book afraid of me? Like, how hard is this book? I think like are you over-explaining yourself, and are you trying to cover bases that maybe feel a little irrelevant, but like you're trying so hard to make sure that no one like has any problem with the book?
Yeah, I can see that.
And I think like it kind of ties in with what you're saying about like having confidence that you're telling the stories you need to tell. You have confidence that you are the right person to tell your stories.
Yeah.
Did I just say the same thought twice? Yeah, who knows?
It kind of. I mean, but like, they have different ways of getting there. So
sometimes you just gotta. I see this the way that like in my writing that I'll write the same sentence 2 or 3 different ways, and it's like the same information in like slightly different formats, and so like you get slightly different things out of them, and then it's like I want to keep all of it.
Well, but how many times have I been like trying to understand a concept, and it comes down to like hearing it in multiple different ways, and all of a sudden I find the one that just unlocks it. Does that make sense?
Oh, that's a good point too. I always worry about like coming off as repetitive, but literally, and I literally was just thinking about this, that like when we have these conversations and I think I'm understanding what you're saying in the moment, like while we're literally in just talking, but then like when I go back and edit, I'm like, oh my God, why did I totally miss like a big part of what she was saying? Like
we've totally talked about this. Where like I've even had this experience in the re-listen, like after an episode is up, I'll be like, oh, we were having 2 different conversations.
God, that it's the magic of language, is that communication is so personal and so imperfect, no matter how hard you try to have like the right words.
And yet we get mad when people use the miscommunication trope. Come on.
Yeah, no, I do feel like we should cut that some slack. Like, yes, it can be badly done, but like I think at that point your problems are like more towards the whole book. If it doesn't feel like it's working, maybe there are other problems present.
I agree.
I want to just catch him up on Baltimore.
Oh yeah, please, real quick. Do. We've jumped so many tracks.
Multi-track drifting. Baltimore. So we had Monsterotica, and I went to that. First ever iteration of that convention, and I hope to go back next year. It was a lot of fun and met so many cool authors. Yeah. I don't actually have a whole bunch to say. Like, it was a good weekend. It was so well organized.
Yeah.
The weekend right before that, different book convention was held in like across the street or something, and it was much worse organized, and a lot of people were really angry about. So like in the wake of it, people kept going like, oh my God, did you hear about that? And Cassie, who organized Monsterotica, kept being like, my guys, stop jinxing it. Like, stop comparing them. I can't think about it. But she has so much experience in the area already.
Yeah.
Right? She did such a phenomenal job, and she covered every base, I think. And honestly, I think the way that she formatted the event of like, there's these like hours that people come in and buy books and sign books and all that, and like milling the floor. And then there's like a break for lunch, there's a break for a panel, and like then we go back to another couple hours of like people being on the floor. Like I loved that there were breaks in between because
Yeah.
it really is such a brutal environment. When I say brutal, I mean like if you're an introvert and you're interacting with hundreds of people in like 1 hour, it's a lot. It's so much.
I'm so sorry.
The way that like I've now been to like 2 different book conventions, and both times I've kind of had like a little freak out afterwards of being like, actually, I need to be home right now. I cannot stand another minute away from my bed. Like the introvert took over, and I just like I drove like 3 hours from Baltimore to my house. Like a night early. I could have stayed at a hotel and like I couldn't. I was so agitated.
I remember you telling me that. Yeah, that you were just like, nope, we're doing it. We're going home.
It does something. Like people do talk about like the kind of
the drain.
The drain. There's the emotional fallout that it's going to take on your body, and you're going to act in weird ways afterwards. It's like
as an extrovert in those situations, I will like be physically tired, but then mentally I'm buzzing. Right? Because like where interacting and socialization drains an introvert and extrovert, it energizes. Right? And so like I will just be like, I'm high, dude. I'm like boom, 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 boom. But like my body is like, girl, calm down. Right? So it's interesting how like that much peopling affects us all, right?
Oh, totally. I'm excited to like see your take on like the after-con feeling, but also like how running your booth goes.
I'm excited too. I'm hoping to get to a couple of like farmers markets between now and then. And that way I'll have a better understanding of like how I want my booth to go, what sort of things I need, and maybe some little extras that I want to include. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think like having something besides books to help draw people to your table, like I could not tell you how many like weird little things I saw. Like people had, I think Cassie Keegan, who was like right next door, she had this amazing backdrop that she made, and she hung a bunch of like crocheted like dragon dicks on it.
That's gorgeous. I am also really interested to see how Andrew does in this environment. Like, I'm going to have to like warn him, like, hey, there's going to be peens everywhere. Like, it is what it is. Like, we accept these things.
Yes. You know, like you're going to see some weird shit. Like, just be prepared.
Just be prepared. So, but yeah, so where are you at with like writing and stuff? What's happening?
I'm working on getting myself to work on Kathy's book. Very slowly chipping away at, I think, the parts that are blocking me, and I'm going to get to the parts that excite me.
Well, I also think that really like tied your hands behind your back with this one. Yeah. I just want to observe that.
You did, like, when I was reading you guys, like, the first chapter, and then you were like, my God, you've built yourself so many obstacles in this.
You really have.
And I was like, yeah, I don't know how to take them out.
I think there has to be a seance or something that brings him corporeal.
Ooh, like he gets a promotion.
Shut up. That's so funny.
My God, that's so funny. No, I love that.
That's so funny. Okay. I mean, welcome to solving your own problems, dude.
Right? No, like, the thing I do love about the world building in Love, Laugh, Lich in the Claws and Cubicles series is that it's so fucking spaghetti at the wall. Like, all right, bullshit happens and we're not questioning it.
Yeah, exactly. I loved you talking to Moss about, Moss was like, is this literal? And you were like, oh yeah, everything's literal. Because he was like this invisible man, and you were like, oh yeah, he's actually invisible.
Yeah. God, I hate, like, that's one of the obstacles is that Kathy's ex is an invisible man, and now her current love interest is an invisible ghost.
Yeah.
I was like, God, she really has a type here, and I don't know how to work with it.
Okay, for one thing, I think she really needs to observe that within herself.
No, like, she like, absolutely does. She needs to be like, I have a problem. And it's not being able to see the man that I'm seeing. Very literally.
God. That's so funny. Okay, so you're working on Kathy's book.
I'm working a little bit on Kathy's book. I finished part of the romancing the craft thing. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, so I'm like very scattered. So there were, this is like a fingers crossed thing. I don't know that these will necessarily go anywhere. At the very end of like all these like beautiful talks that all these authors gave, there was a moment to meet with like editors and agents and give basically like a 5-minute pitch for whatever your work, like whatever your finished book is. Like I got 2 full requests out of it. Like the first one I went to, like she like the whole time she was like, I could tell like I wasn't making a dent with her. I was like, every sentence I get into this, I think I'm weirding her out a little bit more. Yeah, this is just making it worse.
Oh God, what a terrible feeling.
Right? Like I was looking at her and I was like, oh, she's unimpressed. And then like afterwards she was like, okay, so here's how you can improve your pitch. Because I pitched to 3 different people.
Did you end up taking that input or did you just accept that she wasn't your girl?
I think I kind of accepted that she wasn't my girl. It wasn't there was a 20-minute break between her and my next pitch. And that was the break that I was going to go move my car because like I parked at a spot I shouldn't have and the time was going to run out on the meter. And then so I didn't move my car and then I didn't rewrite the pitch. I kind of just stood there like, I don't know what to do.
You texted me at that point and I was like, I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, because you were like, I don't know if I should rewrite my pitch or if I should go move my car. And I'm like, I don't know how bad parking tickets are. Like,
well, I walked out with 2 full manuscript requests and a $50 parking ticket. So, you know what?
What a wash.
Win loss. All right, I'll take it. And yeah, I'm hoping I hear back from them. If I don't, I'll still self-publish that book. It's literally I just sent it to Heather at that point, and then this was my superhero mutant romance thing. So Heather literally was like, girl, there's not a lot to edit in this. Like,
that's amazing.
Which I was like, are you for real? Like, are you? So I'm really happy that it turned out so clean. But it also does kind of tell me like I can pull back on how much effort I'm putting into cleaning up a manuscript. I feel like I don't want to say pull back, but like I don't want to do an editor's job so much that I don't need them. I value that input and I value like them being able to steer a story in a way that a reader's going to enjoy it, and it's so not like just me what you're saying is everything.
You would like to send a rougher draft that could get an input that might bring you into a direction that you did not see yourself.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
Because you had sent such a clean draft that like she was like, I see exactly what you mean to do and you've done it, right? Where
and I was honestly
if it had been
like,
rougher, you might have gotten different input.
Would have a little more back and forth.
Should I tell you about what's going on with writing for me?
Yes.
Okay. So I am like 3/4 of the way done with this draft.
Remy and Alicia.
Of Remy and Alicia. Yes, I am so flippin' excited.
And this is the sequel to
Hazel and Elijah Find Out.
Okay.
Yes. Well, but both. That's the other thing is I did. I made Hazel and Elijah Don't Get Caught as a free loss leader on all of the places. I also added it to Hazel and Elijah Find Out because I've gotten enough like input that it is like it's too important to the reading experience to not have it. Right. So I added that to the physical copy and the e-copy. And so at the end of Hazel and Elijah Find Out, I have like, hey, if you want to read their happily ever after, go here, just skip to part 2. So hopefully that's not confusing. We will see. It just happened this week that it's like free everywhere.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, success, right? It's something I've been wanting to do for about a year now, and I am very happy it's happened. Okay, right. Another thing was one of my friends texted me this morning. She's like, hey, this morning was a great day for me to sit and read. And so I read Hazel and Elijah Find Out, and she's like, I am so excited for Remy's book because the way he was such a supportive friend for Hazel literally made me cry this morning. It's like, that's so nice. So I'm really excited about that.
Cry more.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate your tears. So like, it's input like that just really feels good. So
you're also working on the other reader magnet.
Yes. I also I feel like when I'm done with this draft for Hazel or for Remy and Alicia, there's like another subplot that I want to kind of tighten up. And I don't think that's going to be that hard or take that long. And then it's just doing all the rest of the edits. So I will solidly have a release date within a couple weeks.
Nice.
Kate knows this, and listener, you might also know this, but I get to the point where I'm like, 3/4 of the way done with the book, and I'm like, I'm gonna be done with this any minute now. And so like that's the position we're in right now.
You do that for like 2 months.
Exactly.
Any
so
minute.
The next like 2 to 3 months, I'm gonna be like, any minute. I'm so close to being done. And Kate's like,
honestly,
really?
I think I've done that too. Like you can feel it and you do see the end in sight, but then stuff just keeps getting in the way and then you just take your time on it.
Yeah. Yeah, things do happen. And things really have gotten in the way because I wanted this thing released end of May, beginning of June, and it just didn't work.
No, I'm just like saying like a lot.
Yeah.
Life truly does just sometimes be like, all right, put everything on pause. We gotta do my shit now.
I love that you made plans, but like, fuck you. So because I made nope. I created a naming convention that's very clear but confusing. So because I made Hazel and Elijah Don't Get Caught a free loss leader, I need a new reader magnet. And so that's what I'm working on right now. And my goal is for it to be like no more than 8,000 words. And I should solidly be at that point. It's set in Grand Ridge, just like I want it to be. And it's like a feisty little enemies to lovers that like just all happens in one day sort of thing. So the dominoes fall fast. And it's really fun. It's super cute. I'm having a great time.
8,000 words is no time at all, truly.
I know, right? And then the editing of it is like whatever.
It's so little space to work with. Can you, real quickly for me, because I realized I didn't know what the difference was between a loss leader and a reader magnet.
Oh, yeah.
I always thought they were both just free short stories.
Well, okay, so a reader magnet is like what you offer to people who sign up for your newsletter.
Okay, gotcha.
So when I do BookFunnel promos, to get newsletter followers, I'll be giving away the reader magnet. A loss leader is typically the first book in your series that you set to 0 so that people will like get that free book, they'll read it, and they'll move on through the series.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. What's abnormal about the way I'm doing it right now is that it's a prequel and not a full book, but I also don't have, 3 more books in the series to sell. So I'm not going to make a loss leader for a series that doesn't have at least 3. Personally, I'm not going to do that. That doesn't have at least 3 books for a reader to pick up and read. That's a full book. Does that make sense? So like,
yeah, because like you want to make money from people buying the books or reading them and getting page
exactly.
reads.
So like the idea is that they're getting the free book, but you're making money on the read through of the series. And so since I have Hazel and Elijah, and I will shortly have Remy and Alicia, I was willing to make Hazel and Elijah Don't Get Caught, the prequel to their full story, a loss leader. That was worth it for me. So that's what's going on with writing. I feel like I'm really like not doing any marketing right now.
I mean, I truly feel like marketing does take a lot of a backseat when you
It does.
Aren't, or at least the way we've been doing it, maybe.
Yeah.
When you have like a personal assistant, I imagine getting marketing out there is a lot easier.
It seems like it. It does.
I have to imagine that like more bodies working is more output, but yes. I could be wrong. I could be.
Well, the thing is like, so if I had someone to do 5 hours a week marketing stuff, even if I've already produced the slides and all they have to do is change the background, maybe change the font, and then actually post them, and that's all they did for 5 hours a week, that's like all I need. You know what I mean?
At the same time though, I don't feel like I could come up with 5 hours of work every week for someone.
I definitely feel I could. Yeah. But like we're at different places in our lives too, right?
True.
Where if I had 5 more hours to contribute to my writing business outside of just getting the writing done, because that is the thing that I 100% have to do. If I could do that, then I feel that there would be a lot more success in my business structure. Does that make sense? Like I feel like I would see a lot more growth with that 5 hours. So that's my goal right now. Is to be able to get to the point where I can, and like also someone who helps me might also help in my real estate, right? So if I'm like, hey, can we do 2 hours of, real estate and 3 hours of publishing business stuff? That would be helpful.
Maybe you could find someone who would do both. You might need to train them.
I would anticipate having to train them.
Sides. Yeah.
I also think that that's like one of the reasons why people don't see success when they get like a virtual assistant or somebody, because they don't take the time to actually create structure around the tasks and like clear guidelines. I don't think it's like anything against them. I just also think that this is not something that we have regularly done in like our normal everyday life. So it's hard to be able to tell people exactly what you're looking for and how they should do it.
Yeah.
So, having a assistant that has experience helping. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm like, Andrew and I had a conversation recently. I talked to you about it, where I like told him that there's like different investments I'm not doing, different things I'm not doing within the business, because like I have a hard time spending money on things that are just for me. Even though like creating this business isn't just for me, it's still like something I have a hard time like pulling the tab on and like being like, I'm gonna buy this stock, I'm gonna buy these things, I'm gonna like invest in these advertisements. I have a hard time doing that because like Andrew and my money is so interconnected that like we discuss a lot of our purchases, right? And like it's not just me discussing with him, he discusses with me as well. Like yesterday, he called me and he's like, I'm having a hard time spending $14 on bagels. Please tell me it's okay. I'm like, dude, buy bagels. Like, so like,
no, I totally get that though. Like sometimes you're like, especially with fucking inflation, the way it's been.
Oh yeah. Well, and then also like we are currently having 2 houses.
Yeah. Also that part's difficult.
Yeah. Like money is this resource that we are naturally very conscious of as individuals. But like right now we're also seeing how it's moving, right? And so yeah, like he just needed me to be like, dude, get the fucking bagels, like you're good. And so like I'm kind of having similar situations about my writing business, and it was so weird because like I hadn't like come to terms with like, I'm feeling this way, I need to say it out loud so that Andrew and I can discuss it and we can find a solution. And so like, it was just like a couple of weeks ago, I was like, hey, this is what's going on in my brain and I need us to like find a way around it. And so like, I need you to be more integral in this business because I'm not doing things that I need to be doing because I don't want to sideswipe you with a big purchase or something. Right. And he's like, I feel bad. Like of course. He's like, no, we'll set up a bank account. We'll put money into it regularly and you can just do whatever you need to out of it, sort of thing. It was a really good conversation, but like, it was one of those weird blocks that I didn't even realize was there until like, I just had a moment of like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I totally get what you like. Money is something that we can get so wrapped up in our minds about and like worried, like because you need it for so much, like all the rest of your life, and it's
totally like a made up construct.
Yeah, and at the same time, it's like you feel guilty for indulging yourself because like you're not saving every possible penny you can or whatever. You need to do more work and wear more hats and like to save money. Like it's
the idea that something has to be hard for you to be successful, that's just silly.
I think there is a lot of good in being frugal and deciding whether
I agree.
you actually need something. And I think it can be really hard to look at what you're doing and say, well, where I'm at in my career or in this business, like maybe I don't need to take out ads is something like a thought that I think a lot of it's totally I think
that's totally valuable. But like also like I'm sitting here and I'm like I can't move past the place I'm in if I don't do something different.
Yeah, right? Like you need to like I think trying ads like to see what kind to see how it's going to work for you. Like if you don't get anything out of it, then you can say, well, I tried it and now we're going to have to try something else. Or you get something out of it and you go, this is how I can tweak it to optimize it.
Well, and then also like because I like doing paid newsletter things, right? I've had success with those. I would like to set one up every single month, but I'm not.
Yeah.
even though like the money comes back, right? The purchases lead to purchases, right? So
Yeah.
it's just like one of those things where it's like I'm not structuring the things that would help me earn more money into things because I'm not willing to pay money to do it because I don't want to surprise the household. And then
Yeah.
also, so I'd love to have this assistant that helps me out a little bit, but there's so many steps between here and there that I could automate better.
No, I totally get that. Like social media, like posting or software, that's a whole thing. It does make it a lot
Which
easier.
it does, but then also like at this point I would have to create business accounts everywhere and I'm not doing that. so so
Well,
I'm not able to use those things. But if I automated like the graphics in Canva where I just make like, small tweaks and then I could repost like quotes and stuff like that because not every single one of your posts goes to the same person.
I wish I like could remember the full thought for this. I think like the fear of spending because you feel like you're not going to get that back, but like I think considering the ways that you are going to sort that into your taxes, as a deduction,
That's
if
a
you
good
can
point.
deduct
Yeah,
it. You can deduct
absolutely.
contract labor, you can deduct travel expenses, your office space, the heating and
Mhm.
electric bills that go if you have a dedicated room that is, 100% of the time I'm writing in here or working in here,
Absolutely. This is the only place I
and
ever
any
write.
office supplies. It's showing me like the value of spreading out the work among other people and like
Mm.
contract like labor and all that.
Yeah.
Too much of an introvert to keep doing all like many book shows. I literally like I've only done one, so no, I did two this year.
You did too. You have
I
another
did
one coming
two.
up too.
And I have two more coming up in the
Oh,
same month.
goodness.
Right? I'm looking at that like, why did I do that to myself? I also have not signed up for any next year yet.
I haven't either.
Dude, I got someone from London sent me a thing, and I was like, oh no, I don't think I can go that far.
Yeah. Man, I would love to go to London.
Right?
Personally, right now, I am definitely like, okay, what's within driving distance? Like, what could I do? And like, I'm cool, like, doing what you're doing, where you're going to send me your stock and then I'll drive it down and like, we'll still have a car there. Like, I'm cool doing that in your direction where I send you my stock and we drive somewhere.
Yeah.
But like, the coordinating of everything is like, this is a bit over my head, right? like,
It's a hard thing. Like literally
Mhm.
trade show coordinators, like it's a whole career just like being able to track a bunch of things, going places and holding them and doing the drayage and doing the scheduling and getting booking prices from like hotels and convention center. Like it's oh yeah, the convention table fees is like another thing you
Yeah.
can put in your tax deduction. Like
Yep.
it's
Yeah. Well, I feel like we kind of sort of touched it where like I had an idea of when I thought Remy and Alicia would be done, and then life did what it does. And so now I was going to write another short story before starting a novella that's for a collaboration. But since Remy and Alicia have taken so much more time, I've
Mm,
totally restructured my writing plans around it, right? I'm going to go right into writing that novella collaboration. But I also was like, you know what? I'm going to pause this and write a reader magnet because yeah, I need to have that.
yeah. I think sometimes like you gotta just you have your eat your vegetables project and then you like need to have a little treat yourself project sometimes.
Yeah. And like I also am at a spot in Remy and Alicia where I'm getting into a bit more tap dancing, right? Like with their emotional backwater, I
Emotional
just am like,
backwater.
what was that?
No, I just like emotional backwater.
Yeah.
Like it sounds so murky and like
It does.
alligators floating around like
Yeah, get out of them waters. um, but so because of like how that's working out, I kind of felt like I needed a moment to pause and not push through. And so this reader magnet's coming at the exact right spot to kind of just play, just splash around a little bit in cleaner waters. and and then be able to go back to
mm,
writing Remy and Alicia a little bit more grounded and less rushed. Because I'm getting to the
yeah.
point where I'm like, I don't know what the next scene needs to be. And that is always like, I have such a hard time putting words down when I'm in that mindset. And a lot of times it's
Yeah.
just letting it rest. And I come back to it, I'm totally revitalized.
The rest part is hard.
Yeah. Do you want to give writing advice? Because like, and I know I totally didn't talk
Yeah.
about we were going to, but my headphones are giving me the sound where they're going to dip out this club soon.
Oh, yeah, okay. If I set myself kind of weirdly the way I'm interpreting it is if I set myself a very specific goal of like I need this dream agent and I need to be published by this
Mm.
specific like to me it's like it is kind of about the specifics, but like you could have followed your passion and taken it to a lot of really great places, and you may have like
Mm-hmm.
found other things, and maybe because it wasn't what you had envisioned for yourself, you may miss out. Like I think there's like a balance to be found between that you're not limiting yourself by wanting something very specific. You know, you
Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying, where like limiting your goal to like this one thing, like I must write for SNL. And it's like, well, but how many
yeah,
opportunities were in front of you, but you said no to them because you were so hung up on this one thing.
kind of dial it back from the wanting and kind of just enjoy the doing.
Mm,
Like, and I don't think like you can really do it. Like, I think working, like, if sometimes I say to myself, God, I wish I could just not have pursuits. I wish I could just lay on the couch every day and just enjoy like the summer sun and like the breeze and not
mm,
really need to like feel like I'm not doing anything if I'm not being productive. Cause like I will crush myself to death with like be productive, you
yeah.
know, like I'll drive myself
Mm-hmm.
crazy. I think that is a thought that I have that's kind of in reaction to being burned out, having tried to be too productive. And on the other side of it is like if you relax for too long, you get restless and you kind of lose
Absolutely.
your meaning, you know, like there's a lot to be found. I don't know. Yeah.
I think that that feeling of wanting balance between rest and productivity comes a lot from like our society not valuing rest
Oh, absolutely.
and therefore always pushing for more productivity from us. And so it's like you said, like I when I sit and I'm resting, I want to feel like this is exactly where I'm going to be before the reason of rest. And all those things that are telling me to go do something are quiet right now.
Yes. You know, to
And it's
find that
really
like
hard to
that
achieve that.
peace. Oh, it's so hard. But like
It's so
sometimes you
hard.
do find it. And sometimes it only lasts a moment.
Mhm.
Sometimes and you have to like really, I don't know, be on the lookout for it when it happens.
Something I have been frustrated with is like my rest has been I've been like, okay, I'm going to rest and go read this book. And then I'm flipping through TikTok instead. And I'm like, this isn't the way I
Mm.
wanted to rest. And it's actually not restful for my brain. And so like that's another part of it is like I'll find myself time sucked into something that isn't my intention. And then I'm like, well, crap. Like that's not what I meant to do, and now I don't have time to rest and read my book because I blew off the rest I actually needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like restless rest, you know, where
Yeah.
it's like it's
Exactly.
not giving back to you and
It's too much input to actually let me calm.
yeah,
But okay.
I'm seeing a lot about like dopamine seeking behaviors and like
Oh my god,
cycles that
right?
yeah, no, like I think there's so much we could be studying about this and I would love for like non TikTok experts,
Yeah,
non
exactly.
Instagram Reels experts. Like I'm sorry, like I get so many like therapists on TikTok who are telling me about like all these different like attachment styles and shit and I'm
Uh-huh.
like I do think there's some value in what you're saying, but like the way I've seen this content like repackaged dozens of times in dozens of
Mhm.
ways, and it's like kind of now being like morphed into this clickbaity like
Yeah,
shit. And
I
that to me,
agree.
it's like it's got that pop psychology vibe.
Well, and I just realized like last month, like, oh, I go to sugar as a form of stimulants to like
Mm.
manage my ADHD.
Oh, that's so common. That's such a big thing.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times I'm like, I don't have control over the sugar intake in the middle of the day because I freaking need it. I just got to get this
Yeah,
done so
it
I can move
provides
on
you
to something
dopamine
else.
and and you need the dopamine to
Yeah.
start your next task because you can't
Yeah.
and that's when people like who are, you know, starved of their dopamine find themselves in this like I can't even get out of my chair to like go do a thing. Go do a
Yeah.
thing I wanted to do. I can't turn the TV on to like find a movie I want to watch
Yeah.
because like I'm sitting here without my dopamine. Like it's insane
So
how that's
weird.
how the brain has to work.
Well, but it's also insane that, like, I've gone 38 years like this, right? Like,
the way we just, like, you have to have time to have developed a pattern and to, like, worn it through a little, I think, before you can observe your own patterns.
Well, but, like, also, I had more balance when I was younger. My hormones were different, and I didn't have 2 children. And so I could, yeah, I could focus more on, like, okay, well, my body's wanting the sugar. I'm going to get, you know, these carbs instead, and, like, stuff like that. And it would work, right? Where now I'm like, no, I'm just going to have a freaking mug of ice cream and move on with my freaking day. Right? But okay, so what was your writing advice? It's been a great conversation, but I'm really confused where we got here.
Finding the balance between wanting in a way that causes you stress and wanting in a way that brings you closer to your dedication to the work itself. And I think that brings you closer to the enjoyment of the journey. Okay, so your writing advice.
My writing advice would be, like, take an assessment of what your blocks are, or, like, what's one block, right? Yes, we all have many, but, like, what is one block? Like, one of my blocks was that I'm uncomfortable spending money on my writing business. And then whatever that block is for you, like, figure out how to divert it. Figure out what to do. Because a lot of times I feel like the messaging in our brain gets so, like, tangled up that when I finally came to the point of, like, oh, this is something I struggle with, I'm like, oh, the solution to this is actually very doable, right? Like, it was so much more actionable than I had realized. And I hadn't even realized, like, the source of my anxiety was, like, I could fix this.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Kate, where can they find you?
I'm at kate-pryor.com. It's got all my books. It's got all my social media links. And it's also... got one more thing. I don't know what. Find out. Go to this website. But yeah, it's got a newsletter. It's got a free story attached to the newsletter.
Nice.
I finally got that set up. You can read about these two witches who were broommates and they're roommates. I love it. And they're about to break their lease, and then they accidentally have establish a telepathic communication, and then they realize they don't hate each other quite as much as they thought they did.
I absolutely love it so much. That's so cute.
It's so fun. It's so cute.
It's one of my favorites.
There's a lot of, like, angsty masturbating at each other.
It's so
just funny. Like just something I can't get enough of, I guess.
For me, you can go to martyv.com, and I don't know the title of my reader magnet just yet, but it is 2 high school teachers, and she super hates him because he gets all of the funds for the football team while she's, like, figuring out how to, like, put 2 pennies together to put on a, you know, second play for the high schoolers. She definitely has a lot of, like, she's just so shitty to him.
No, I love it. Like, no, but, like, he's kind of shitty back to her because he kind of likes it when she's mean to him, and so he's baiting her, and I fucking really love cute. That.
I do too.
Like, I love that that's their dynamic, and he's just like, I'm doing it on purpose, and she's like, I hate him.
So that happens. You can find me at Marty V Author on TikTok and Instagram. And Remy and Alicia Can't Fall Again is available for pre-order currently, but might be out by the time you hear this. We'll see. We'll see. Remy has a hot new neighbor. Too bad she's his ex-wife.
Oh my God. God, what a tagline.
Yay, I'm so glad you like it. But yeah, so listener, we'll talk to you later, and we love you.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Are you doing your thing? Are you being weird?